Boy, the injury bug is just taking pitchers down left and right. And I have tonight's Lanky lineup for you. Let's talk about it. Hey, gang, I hope you're all doing well. So I want to give a shout out to Uncle Tats and Pinstripe Chronicles and Rob and Lynn and Chris are over there. They're doing a fundraiser right now on the Pinstripe Chronicles podcast for a very important cause, Parkinson's awareness. So if you happen to know anybody who's got Parkinson's who's suffering, if it's an important cause to you, please consider going on to their into the channel right now. They're doing a live stream for another 4 hours, I think it is. So it's about 8 or 12 hours long. And they're trying to raise as much money as possible for Parkinson's awareness and give to a good cause. And any super chat, any type of donation is going to go right to the proceeds. So appreciate your support. But let's talk about this now. We have some stuff. I put out a short earlier about Johnny Loisaga being down a 60-day. Well, Brian Hoke just reported that he's going to have season-ending surgery. Just reported about 5 minutes ago. And he's got a torn UCL, which is generally the precursor for Tommy John surgery. But they're saying right now that he doesn't need Tommy John surgery. So I don't know what that means. So I'm sure we'll get a little bit more intel. But he had a forearm strain, which sounds like it turned into a partially torn UCL, which is generally textbook Tommy John. And I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out more over the next couple of days. And I'm sure Brian Cashman's probably on the hunt for another arm now. So, be on the lookout. Keep your eyes and ears open and make sure that you're subbed to this channel. That way you don't miss it. Because if he does bring in somebody, I'll let you know right away. I thank you so much. Hit your notifications if you do subscribe too. I appreciate it. It means the world. But he's not the only guy that went down today. Shane Bieber, Yankees target, potentially at the deadline, is having Tommy John surgery too. So it's on MLBTradeRumors.com. It's kind of reported all over the place. And the pitchers are going down. And I was just talking to Rob about this. And Tats, we were talking about that we do agree that the pitch clock has been cut from 20 to 18 seconds on the pitcher side. And since that's happened this offseason, a lot of pitchers have been going down. Yuri Perez from the Marlins just went down a couple days ago for Tommy John. A lot of other guys are going down for Tommy John too. Spencer Strider from the Braves got scratched yesterday with elbow problems. So there's a lot of guys going down right now, and I'm not exactly sure I see the benefit. I hope it's something that the union and baseball, owners and commissioners talk about and potentially bring back up to 20. Because since they cut it down to 18, it looks like there's a lot of pitchers been getting hurt because of it. I don't necessarily see the benefit. I understand the logic of wanting to speed up games. They've already sped up the games a lot. But at some point, we need to protect the players too. And pitchers get a lot more stress of this pitch count, this clock than the batters do. It's a lot more stress on the pitching arm having to throw with a violent movement every single time, every 20 seconds or so. That's taxing on a pitcher. So, but you let me know what your thoughts. But right now, Johnny Loisaga out for the season. Shane Bieber out for the season. Yuri Perez out for the season. And a bunch of other guys too. This stinks. It really, really does stink. So, but, in terms of this Yankees, yeah, I mean, the Yankees will put it together. They had a crappy loss yesterday on opening day. Shutout for twice already this season. And again, I'm not running the alarm bell just yet, but it is noticeable that their losses have been crappy losses. Okay, and yeah, they're 6-2, so they're waiting the storm, right? They're riding this out, and without contributions really from a lot of their key players, Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, with exceptions here and there. Okay, so Alex Verdugo has been a relatively non-factor too. So a lot of guys have been non-factors. Once these guys are up and rolling and clicking on all cylinders, they're going to be a heck of a lot more dangerous. But they're 6-2 without contributions from a lot of their key players. So just goes to show the strength of their depth, the strength of the other guys, how much guys are learning and developing and benefiting from James Rosen's new hitting approach. So credit to him. Okay, and also credit to Matt Blake for what he's doing with the pitching. Marcus Stroman was fantastic yesterday. With the exception of one bad pitch from, was it Caleb Ferguson yesterday? You got that pitch and home run. Other than that, the other ones was it pass balls twice to Jose Trevino from Nick Birdie. So other than that, he was pretty solid. But Trevino's had a rough day behind the plate yesterday. This guy's known as a platinum defender, but his defense has taken a hit significantly over the last couple of years. So I hope they give Austin Wells a bigger opportunity here. We'll see. Don't be surprised if you see somebody like Ben Rice. Don't be surprised if you see them acquire a catcher too, and even trade somebody like Ron Marinaccio, who now doesn't really have a spot anymore to pitch for. Don't be surprised if you trade him for a compensatory pick or something like that, international money. So, or something like that. But that being said, here's the lineup. Okay. Gleyber Torres is leading off second base. Juan Soto's batting second in right field. Aaron Judge batting third in center field. Anthony Rizzo's batting fourth, first base. They moved Giancarlo Stanton down a spot at DH. Alex Verdugo's batting sixth in left field. Anthony Volpe's batting seventh at shortstop. Austin Wells behind the dish, good, batting eighth. And Oswaldo Cabrera's at third base, batting ninth. And on the mound, toeing the slab, is Clark Schmidt. So I like that Austin Wells is out there. And so, I mean, something to keep in mind too. If Giancarlo Stanton isn't really getting hit, I don't think they're going to DFA him or release him. With $90 million left, I doubt it. Maybe he'll turn to a bench player, especially when a guy like Jason Dominguez comes back. They could play Dominguez at DH and sit Stanton if they need to do that. But I can't see them just eating $90 million of Stanton. Not at this point. So, but they could sit him and play somebody else as a warning sign as well. And Jason Dominguez is itching to get back. Fans want him to come back, and he could provide a valuable offensive piece, an offensive piece too, who can play the outfield. But even if they had to DH him in the beginning to protect him, like the Phillies did with Bryce Harper, I'm totally okay with that. I'd rather protect the kid and let him ease back into being healthy, okay, and ease back into the game. But that's just me. You let me know what your thoughts are one way or the other. Load up the comments. We'll talk about it. I'll go live as much as I can. But this is right now. Look, the Yankees are 6-2 with a lot of blemishes right now. And again, I say this a lot. Whether it's like I use Clay Holmes as an example. I was just talking to Rob and someone in Lynn over there. With the exception of the bad month he had last year, he had 6 or 7 good ones. But the one bad month is the one that gets magnified. He still had a mid-2 ERA last year and a mid-2 ERA the year before that. So his consistency is there as much as a flavor of the month. Josh Hader, one of these other guys, Emmanuel Clase, Hector Neris would have been nice to have here. Who would have represented an upgrade at the value? Josh Hader would have probably been a noticeable upgrade, but again, at almost $40 million a year, I don't think so. Clay Holmes is going into a contract year too. So I expect him to be better than he is usually. Again, will we see some John Wetland type games where we have to sweat, do a save? Sure. But if he saves the game, he saves the game. I sweat it all the time with John Wetland. Yankees had a 4-run lead, he'd give up 3 runs, and then he'd load the bases, and then he'd save the game. We'd have palpitations for the last 20 minutes watching a pitch, right? But that was just the way that it was. And they won the World Series in '96 with him. So I'll take a little bit of a higher stress level if Holmes can close these games out. And again, he's got a much better bullpen surrounding him. And they still have Tommy Kahnle to come back. They still have Scotty Frost to come back, which again leads me to think that Ron Marinaccio is probably going to be a trade piece. But we'll see. He hasn't really been good for over a year either. So he's expendable now with the emergence of Ian Hamilton, right? Where is he going to pitch, Marinaccio, especially with these other guys coming back who are ahead of him as well? And with the new additions that they brought in, Kelly Ferguson, Victor Gonzalez, and the rest of them, it's unfortunate, but that's going to be the situation, I think. But you let me know what your thoughts are one way or the other. So that's the situation. Loisaga, done for the year. Shane Bieber, done for the year. That's the Yankees lineup. Stay tuned. Go Yankees.